I start this lawsuit to prove my innocence and to prove how vindictive this monster is. He's pure evil.
A whistleblower who won the latest appeal in a years-long legal battle with Tesla has said she wants to face Elon Musk in open court. Cristina Balan was a successful engineer at the company. So much so, in fact, that her initials were carved on batteries of some Teslas. But after emailing Elon Musk about safety issues, about how the floor mats would affect the car's brakes, Cristina was called to a meeting where she was told to resign. 8 years after her legal battle began, and as she is in remission from breast cancer, she says she now has the opportunity to finally confront Elon Musk at a trial, face to face. Cristina spoke to us from her home in Florida this morning, and I asked first why she emailed Elon Musk.
This is what he asked for us. If you have an issue, you have to contact me directly, which I did. Not a lot of people did it, but what I can assure you is that 90% of the one who did, they got fired soon after.
Wow. So
So
what happened next after you sent that email asking for a meeting?
was that silence. He didn't answer. He didn't said anything. Kind of like he didn't receive it. And 3 days after, because I was so in such a good relationship with all the vice presidents, I had quite a few patent ideas that I was dealing with just the highest, the second and the third in command on Tesla. I knew that on Wednesdays he will be in there in the company. By the way, the reality of his puffery that he's working late and sleeping on the floor is just bullshit. Elon Musk was present in Tesla one day every other week. With small exception, Elon Musk was in Tesla every other Wednesday. Well, imagine how much can you do in 2 days per month. And I knew that in that day he will be there. And I was so close and I was helping so many VPs. And my desk was actually like, in the line of sight from him, a few desks away. Um, and I was waiting to talk to him and present what I have in the emails. My friends, the VPs, were preparing to talk about everything that I emailed him. But instead of that, the HR and the legal department had another plan for me. And what they've done, they told me that they have some details to talk to me before I'm talking with Elon. So they knew about the meeting. I was a bit surprised. I was like, how do they know what I have in my email? Okay. And instead of taking me into a normal conference room that we had upstairs, they actually took me into a dungeon. If you saw one of those horror movies that you are getting into like a dark, factory, like abandoned, and you have like drapes coming out from the ceiling and you have to, take them away. Well, this is how it was. And we got into a room, and in there they forced me to resign.
How did they force you to resign, Cristina? Explain what the terms of this dismissal was.
They've told me that if I'm not resigning on the spot, they will deport my entire team, because the entire team of Tesla, the entire interior team, was backing me up. And their plan, Tesla's plan and legal department plan, was to convince the entire team and myself to close the investigation, an internal investigation that we open in the company to fix a serious safety issue.
And this was an issue with the brakes, right? With
Correct.
the brakes, and that's what you'd emailed Elon Musk about.
I email him about a lot of stuff
Okay.
because we had hundreds of defects per car, and we are sending the cars out like that, knowing how many. Like I'm not kidding. We had cars with hundreds of defects, and their plan, when I'm saying there, it's legal and HR department. Uh, their plan to shut us down didn't work so well because when yeah when they start threatening everybody to keep their mouth shut, they end up to myself, and they said, if you don't drop the internal investigation, uh, and that was before, like a week before I emailed Elon. They said, I can assure you that nobody will believe that the entire team was backing you up, and we will frame it in such a way that you will look like a disgruntled, crazy employee. And I said, what do you mean? Every single person that was, backing me up and trying to fix the issues that we have in Tesla, they were all having the same, well, different issues, but the same outcome. Each time that we tried to fix something, we were threatened, we were, demoted, retaliated against. Well, this time, their plan didn't work
So
because
I
they
want
said they've told me nobody will believe you instead of us. And I said, well, your plan doesn't work. And they were like, what do you mean? Well, I have the evidence that everybody had the same issue. And it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean you have the evidence? And I said, the meeting that we had before we opened the internal investigation, the meeting that we tried to fix everything before we got to Elon, was with the vice president of engineering. And in there, he actually admitted that he was a safety issue. He said it. Of course, it's a safety issue. And guess what? He added, it's a safety issue bigger than Toyota recall.
wow. Okay. So
And I dropped. I couldn't believe it. And of course, the legal and the HR, they said, well, nobody will believe you. And I said, yes, for sure. But your problem is that I record the 2-hour conversation
so
that
you
we all have.
recorded the conversation.
Yes, I have the admission
So
of the
you have
recall.
the evidence of that conversation.
Correct.
So can I just clarify? Elon Musk had sent an email or several emails company wide telling you that you should be able to give feedback. But when you gave feedback, the response to criticism of corporate practices was essentially to silence people or to dismiss them. Is that right?
Exactly. 100%. And you know what was funny? That I've heard the same story, not just in US. There are people in Norway and in Germany that they did the same thing, and they were out of the blue fired in the
Wow.
next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. So I want to bring it back to what happened after that meeting. So you were forced to resign. You brought a wrongful dismissal case, as I understand it, and then
Yes.
Tesla publicly accused you of using its resources for a secret project, which essentially amounts to embezzlement under US law. You've called their action vindictive. Did this seem like an act of hostility from the company?
Oh, it was 100%. Because what people don't get is that the lawsuit that I brought against them was in 2014, right after I was forced to resign. And in 2017, that lawsuit ended, and I won that lawsuit. After we finished with everything, the deposition, everything that we had in that lawsuit, Musk and his VP of PR decided to defame me. And those accusations, the embezzlement, the theft, they had 4 years almost to bring them in the lawsuit that we just ended. They never brought it. Why? Because the evidence of that lawsuit shows exactly the opposite of what they've lied.
So you won that lawsuit, then they accused you publicly of embezzlement. And I know then you brought a defamation case. There's been a lot of legal back and forth over the past 5 years, more than that.
More
But
than
I
that.
understand you won a very significant legal victory last Wednesday, Cristina. Tell us what you won on Wednesday.
I won it actually on Monday.
Oh, sorry, my dates are
Yeah.
wrong. You won a very
But
significant legal victory last
yes.
week. Tell us what you won.
Uh, for the first time in his life, Elon Musk lost an appeal. The same for Tesla. And what I've won, uh, I proved the impossible. That an immigrant woman engineer process, and lately with a bit of my the help of my new lawyer, who's my friend, not just my lawyer. We did it. We actually beat Elon Musk in court. We beat his hundreds of hardcore legal team.
So you won the right to you've won an appeal, which gives you the right to now bring another suit and potentially to face him in court. I know that this won't happen overnight. This could be another long legal process. Do you want to see Elon Musk in court?
Oh yes. This is why I start this lawsuit, to prove my innocence and to prove how vindictive this monster is. He's pure evil. In this, up to now, it's no movie that can paint it exactly how Elon Musk is in real life. He's enjoying hurting people. Like he's getting pleasure for seeing people hurt. He destroys so many people in Tesla that you have no idea, but you don't know about them, because each time, and this is very important, I wish the entire world to find out, each time that you're signing an employment agreement with Tesla and with Musk, and not just with Tesla, Musk is asking this for every single person that he ever worked with, even if it's SpaceX or any other of his companies. He's forcing everybody to give up, and this is the pathetic part, their freedom of speech and the right to sue. The First and Seventh Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Why do you think is that? Because without those, if they will not have the arbitration agreement, the whole smoke and mirrors that he paint around him, it will crumble to pieces.
Cristina, what would a win look like for you?
Just to see me in front of a judge. A lot of people they were asking me, it's like, how much do you want from me? How much do you want to, the judge to punish me for? And or I said, the only thing that I want to see him in front of a jury and a judge. Because for 10 freaking years, I'm fighting with him to just show my evidence, to show the truth. And he's going around the world and lying and faking that is the free speech absolutist, when every single person of his team ever on all his companies doesn't have any rights on it. Imagine how frustrated are everybody in Tesla. But what's the reason why I can talk to you right now, and the reason why I'm allowed to share all these insights, inside Tesla and, about Musk, is that in 2019, when I filed the lawsuit against Tesla, I won something that nobody else won before. I convinced the most senior federal judge of Washington state to void all the confidentiality clauses that Tesla and Musk had on me. And I convinced her to allow me to get, into a public court. Well, guess what? I won. After I fight with them, I won in June 2019 a right to get Musk to court and show his evidence.
That was Cristina Balan, who is an engineer at Tesla and who has just won her latest appeal in a years-long legal battle with the company. We did ask Tesla for a comment on this story, but they haven't yet responded to us.